Welcome to Pure Soul Alchemy with Gabriella. I'm Gabriella Espinosa, and I'll be taking us through a shamanic soul realignment process for the next 30 minutes. So find a nice, comfortable place where you can lay down, relax, and receive this session. Pure Soul Alchemy is a transmission of channeled shamanic healing technologies which restructure your creator source grid. Transformative operations and procedures are enacted for you while you comfortably relax. Through my perception and vocalization of the inner energetic grid, we are opened in ways which allow these technologies to come into our physical reality and enact change on our behalf. There will be quite a few moments of silence as I am delivering these processes. Simply rest into the silence during these times and receive the healing energies. Don't focus too much on what is being said. Relax and let the transmission come through and work on you. It's quite helpful to go back and listen again repeatedly to deepen the effects of the session and take your healing further. Today's show is a shamanic healing session on control. Control is such a loaded word, having all kinds of negative connotations. While it's important to have and maintain some form of control if you want to live a life of stability, effectiveness, and success, too much control will surely stifle your joy and happiness. It can be quite challenging to find a healthy, happy balance of control in your life. Balance in how much structure you implement and adhere to, and balance in how much fluidity and flexibility you allow to reform your life in critical moments. Having too much control will squelch your passion and disallow universal blessings from your life. Having too little control will have you spinning out, wandering aimlessly, directionless, and in confusion. In this session, we will deconstruct some of the rigid programming of having too much or too little control, and we will also strengthen your sense of self, uniting you with your higher vision. Allow yourself to notice any feelings or sensations that arise during our session. Allow your mind to watch, witness, notice where you have intense internal responses, and give your higher self and spirit full permission to transform your inner planes of consciousness to what is real, true, beautiful, and best for your well-being. Now, I get the healing points for our sessions in advance, and so I'm just going to name a few of the ones that I got for our session today. Number 1, untethering from the collective fear of loss of control. Healing point number 2, releasing patterns of overflexibility being spun out of our center. Healing point number 3, strengthening our ability to embrace the dance between order and liberating chaos. Healing point number 4, releasing genetic programming of devastations, incapacitations, family heirlooms of strife, and emotional disarray. And healing point number 5, healing psychological patterns of checking out from our lives. So now settle into your stillness. Fall into your natural deep breathing rhythm. No forcing, just breathing. Bring into your awareness. Bring into your heart. And bring into your pelvic bowl your joy to connect with inherent inspirational flow. Your joy to reside in what is true for you at all times. And the immense happiness and fulfillment that come from dancing with your inner creator. And extending that beautiful feeling of connection to the universal creator. Realize now that you are falling deeper and deeper into eternal trust in this beautiful interplay that weaves beauty into your existence and the existence of all that is. Rest now in the knowing that you are held by Spirit at all times, and that your orientation to life is undergoing a vastly improved change. Let that take hold in your sight, in your heart, and in your life as we go through our session. So connecting with our divine physical and non-physical intelligence to align completely with our own core essence. Aligning with the fundamental and essential aspects of ourselves. Aligning with the earth, the sun, the moon, with our own Mother, Father, God self, with our own inherent Creator self, and a right placement in the universe. The purest healing source within us is our own deepest aspect. We agree to serve as our own healing agent and to serve from and as our own ultimate inner counsel, the All that I Am. We now invoke, welcome, and receive our beloved Mother and Father God to exact their loving, divine, blessed grace directly into our healing proceedings today. Right, so allowing the richness of life to come over us, to permeate our essence. Okay, so we're going to begin with healing point number 4. Releasing genetic programming of devastations, incapacitations, family heirlooms of strife, and emotional disarray. Healing generational reservations that default to controlling every millisecond of our existence. Releasing generational systems of repression, guarding and hiding from life, releasing generational systems of defending, being on guard, healing generational default modalities, modes of operating, of control. All right, let's clear generational disgust. For moving beyond what we consider normal. Releasing restraint, futility, and resignation from our ancestral coding. Unraveling the threads of assumed chaos, revealing the illuminated pearl of insight within. Healing point number 3, strengthening our ability to embrace the dance between order and liberating chaos. Chaos that brings liberated change. Advancement, a heightening of perception. Restoring our ability to dream big and incorporate the designs of universal loving intelligence into our hearts, thereby advancing our perception, our vision, our broad scale, broad, higher level vision, being able to see the bigger picture that is at play in our lives, not having to push towards it, just seeing it, witnessing it, noticing it. Advancing divine order follow through. Liberating ourselves from generalizations that have created a stopping point in our higher self evolution on the personality level. Unraveling our rejections of universal direction, allowing higher mind advancements to flow once again unencumbered. We're going to do an elimination of presumption, safety generalizations, negative diminished expectations, delivering the dream to unfold and unify our waking safety in universal dance of divine reordering. Delivering the dream to unfold and unify our waking safety, held, contained by the universal dance of divine reordering. Advancing our waking day, everyday waking reality, to be safely, lovingly held by this universal dance of divine reordering. Great. Healing point number 2, releasing patterns of over-flexibility. Releasing patterns of being spun out from our center and not being conscious of this when it occurs. Right, let's clear normalcy bias. Having become normalized to not being in our center, to being out of alignment in ourselves. Healing a destructive sense of overextension, overcompensation. Healing of the fear of healthy structure and guidelines. And we're going to do a healing on our ability to correct, manage, recontextualize towards a healthy structure and healthy guidelines. Healing the destructive, self-sabotaging addiction to drama and chaos. And still clearing learned overcompensation to deal with it. Healing patterns of taking on more than is right and appropriate for a stable, sustainable life. Strengthening our ability to reawaken our designs of stability and universal divine order. Initiating stabilized traction, and synchronization in this universal divine order. Eliminating transference of our choice, power, individuality, and transforming the unconsciousness that is responsible for this. Familiarizing our systems to a life of healthy structure, healthy boundaries, and strengthening our capacity for balance and speaking our truth. Healing point number 5, healing psychological patterns of checking out from our lives. So we're going to do a healing of any patterns of retreating into the periphery of our existence, patterns of hiding from our soul's calling, And let's go ahead and do a clearing of fear. Fear of what we know is true for us. Fear of our true soul desires. Fear of having what our heart truly wants and truly needs. Basically, fear of having good things coming our way. Clearing any hiding, patterns of hiding from our truth, the knowing of our heart. And supporting our systems to begin allowing the call of our spirit to permeate our daily lives. Strengthening our systems to be in more allowance of aligned action, aligned speaking, aligned thinking. Healing point number 1, untethering from the collective fear of loss of control. This is the fear, the energy of fear, the construct of fear that runs through the group think, the group mind, the collective mind. So, awakening awareness of that fear, the awareness of where it comes from, and the ability, strengthening our ability to individuate from it. Recognize that that doesn't have to be a part of our reality. That doesn't have to be our truth. And choosing otherwise. Releasing fear of being controlled. These are some of the pieces that are in the collective. Releasing fear of being controlled. Releasing fear of not being in control. Releasing hypervigilant thought and behavior patterns. Releasing fear of being caught off guard by life's loving chaos. Releasing unconscious fears that drive us to seek to control, limit, suppress life. Healing the fear of expansiveness. Healing the fear of vulnerability in the face of potential change. Healing the fear of confronting our automatic presets, which are based in unconscious, suppressed pain. And let's go ahead and do some clearing, healing of any unconscious suppressed pain that is keeping us out of alignment. with our awakening. Releasing the fear of questioning ourselves. Confronting where we are out of sync with our truth, with who we are. And allowing for a removal of rigid, binding, obligatory roles. And we're going to go ahead and bring in an Orasoma bottle at this time. And this one is called Go With The Flow, appropriate name. And let's see, it's bottle number 75, magenta over turquoise. My aim is to see life anew with love, a deeper understanding, particularly a reorientation in relation to the family. Accepting ourselves and letting ourselves be puts us in touch with the flow of life, individuation. Great, so we're going to go ahead and bring our session to a close. I'd like to thank you for joining us for Pure Soul Alchemy with Gabriella. It is highly recommended that you listen to this session repeatedly. This will deepen the effects of the session and take your healing further with each replay. To schedule an individual session and for more info, visit www.puresoulalchemy.com. This is Gabriella Espinosa. Have a wonderful day.